Yes, yes. Never know. You want to move? I just want make a like little quick little talk. We got the moon in Virgo right now before the new moon in Libra. We got the fucking Venus just went into Virgo like a day or two ago. And we got motherfucking Lilith in Virgo. Y'all know I talked about that. But with all these conjunctions and shit, it's energizing our fucking nitpick, analytical, worrisome, overanalyzing, being overstimulated. You feel me? Like, try not to overstimulate the senses and where you trying to organize and set things up. Like, be organized, right? But don't be strict, because we still remember Saturn is retrograde and it's opposing Lilith that just went in Virgo. It's opposing the moon that's in Virgo now, and it's opposing Venus. So with Saturn opposing Venus, Saturn limits, Saturn restricts, right? Anything that's not built on sturdy ground, sturdy foundation. If your foundation of your love associations and love matters aren't grounded in some form of dream reality where you guys' goals, y'all spiritually align, like a spiritual relationship less than like societal standards. Also with Pisces and Neptune, y'all are creating you guys' own like world in a sense. So with Saturn opposing these Virgo energies, limiting our analytical ability, limiting our practicality ability when we're putting things to use in the real world, like such as our body first and foremost. This is our first tool, our mind, our body, our brain and shit. So we could get overstimulated by the fact of trying to be too confined inside of our water bubble, of our dream, of our fucking vulnerability and intuition, right? So with Virgo Lilith taking power back in how we're going about helping and servicing others, the moon in Virgo, we're feeling emotionally comfortable with this right now, but it could be a little abrasive with the Lilith energy. But with Venus there cooling things down, along with that opposition with Saturn, right? Try not, pick your words carefully. Try not to be too probing, like you know it all about somebody else when you don't know it all about someone else. You barely know it all about yourself, the way you be acting. So like, just not just, I don't even like saying just do anything. So, and Mars just went into Scorpio, so we got a sextile. We can use that sextile of Mars and Scorpio to go for our passions and desires in a kind of underhand way. But you know, you don't want to be conniving, you don't want to be too manipulative of people, right? Let's try to manipulate our situations and ourselves in our mind spaces, right? With Mercury going into Libra, we gotta align our head spaces and our mentalities more so than an external representation of something or something outside of ourselves. It always starts with us first. So when we feel these limiting thoughts and feelings and things, correct yourself, like autocorrect, like an Apple keyboard, you feel me? And autocorrect be wrong. Don't forget that either. Autocorrect some shit and make it wrong, and that's not what you said. And that is the Lilith, not Lilith, that is the opposition between Virgo and Pisces, right? Where you think you're coming across in a all-encompassing, surrendering kind of way, totality, where everything is all peachy and peaceful, but you're not understanding how deep you done probed into the situation. So all your words are kind of cutting deep into that water, right? Into that emotional field of energy. With Pisces, and Saturn and Neptune. And I always say this, we could get wrapped up in that dream reality where it becomes realistic nightmare instead of a dream, right? We get lost in those things. So with Venus entering Virgo, Venus in Virgo is all about taking care, right? But it could get too far on the deep end of trying to take care where it becomes trying to fix something, right? And when you get into the headspace of thinking you need to fix someone, it gets real toxic, because you will start to develop like a resentment feeling, or like a feeling of not being heard, when you have to step out of that ego and realize and understand that people move, on their own joint. Even if you're giving them the setup, even if you're saying you got the most organized solutions for how we supposed to be dealing with this relationship shit, Earth is practicality, right? It's mutable Earth, so it's malleable, right? It's adaptable. So we got to use that adaptable energy and not move backwards into Taurus, fixed Earth, into our fixated values of what the love mean. And that's going backwards past Cancer. Emotional intelligence is going all the way back, right? Instead of going forward towards Libra, being relatable in that love, right? And the energy is fluid. So it's always, you can act out whatever energy in the energy that you want to, right? The sun, we know it's Libra season, but we don't gotta be relatable. like that's just like the inclination of the time of the energy is to be relatable, is to be fair, is to be just, is to be polarizing, right? It's to initiate conversation and new thoughts, right, about things, mainly the ego or character or how we see ourselves or anything of that nature. Cuffing season, you feel me? Like relationships. So with Virgo there, it's always like the 360 thing, where we're always progressing through these energies, right? Constantly. And it's about your awareness of where you are at in that cycle. And that way you can utilize whatever energy you need to utilize, and not use like what I say or use somebody else's thing and expect that to work for you, instead of going through the information in your mind, organizing, sorting that out, and how you need to take your power back, how you need to correct your love matters, and how you are eliminating yourself from even feeling or experiencing love. Because Pisces is the exaltation of Venus. So if Pisces is an exaltation of Venus, exaltation like the highest point, like the sun is exalted in Aries in springtime when it's the furthest, but it's coming back, right, into spring after winter, after Pisces, right? So Venus, the morning star, is exalted in Pisces. So the opposite of Pisces we know is Virgo. So Venus is in its fall right now, like how the sun is right now in its fall in Libra. So when a planet is in its fall, it's uncomfortable. It's not extremely uncomfortable as if it was in detriment, like Venus in Scorpio, but it is still like majorly uncomfortable with the fact, because love is like not about analyzing and being analytical and nitpicking any and everything you see wrong with a person or a situation that you care about, right? That you love, that you value. That's what Venus is: values, care, aesthetics, beauty, right? So with this opposition with Saturn and with Mars in Scorpio, that's where I got off track. With Mars in Scorpio, sextile Virgo, right? We got fixated water, fixed water, Scorpio. We got mutable Earth, right? So we can make a little muddy situation. It can get a little muddy. Don't be trying to meddle too much in other people's shit. Don't be trying to meddle in other people's shit, because it could get real muddy. Unless you're making like a mud face mask or something, like some skincare type shit, you feel me? Then that's when we getting in it good. Like, that's when we getting it good. Taking care of something, not necessarily fixing something that isn't an issue. Something could be corrected, it could be better, it could be more efficient, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the current status is an issue. Things could just happen on their natural time without you forcing it or, pressing the issue to get ultimately an outcome that you desire. And not something, like I said, when you move forward in that energy and relate, when you notice and analyze, get your analyzation on, and you notice, you gotta remember you're still talking to a person at the end of the day. More importantly, like a friend or a partner or a family member, and you gotta treat them like you want them to talk to you. Like, we all here. So yeah, with Mars, we could get a little conniving in how we're going for our ambitions, right? We might do a lot of things behind closed doors, and a lot of plans that's been behind closed doors can come to the light at this time, just as I stepped out the fucking shade, right? So a lot of things that's been done behind closed doors as Mars gets a little bit more into Scorpio, because it just went in there. So it's like a shift in between. It's like being in between jobs or in between realities, in between dimensions, in between thoughts. And it's like it's just an little in between gray period right now. And yeah, with the sun in Libra, it's causing friction with Mars and Scorpio. So that's why things can pop off. The sun reveals. The sun is our actions. The sun is the external thing, right, that we acting out, relatability. But if you've been trying to relate in a conniving ass way, going behind people's backs, talking to people's friends or whatever the case may be, trying to get people removed from spaces, like some real devious stuff. So that those things can come to light, especially now with the friction between the sun and Mars. But with Mars and Venus, and this little sextile tango is actually not bad. But it can be bad as anything if it's overutilized or energized too much or underused and not used enough. So the sextile between Venus and Virgo and Mars and Scorpio is the opportunity to go for your desires in private, to go for your desires in a deep, passionate way, right? To go for these things that may be ready. Like you just set it up. You just set up the dice. I mean, not the dice. You just set up the dominoes, and you about to knock them down, right? But before you knock them down, you want to make sure that the picture that you try and get out of it is actually what you want to put into it. So, yeah, that's that sextile with Mars in Scorpio, Venus, and Virgo. It's the opportunity to passionately go for our desires in depth. You feel me? And add onto those passions and desires the value of practicality, the value of analysis, so you could correct the things in your own world. Because correcting your own world is the first step to correcting the immediate world external from you, your home, your relationships, right? Your work. So Virgo is all about service to others. So your work is going to be very important at this time. Yeah, and we got Jupiter in Taurus still. It's going to trine. The moon is going to trine. Venus is going to trine Lilith. So Jupiter is all about expansion. It's retrograde right now, so it's kind of an internal expansion, or in the knowledge that we're getting from these experiences, we're kind of keeping to ourselves. And it's going to oppose Mars and Scorpio. So with that opposition with Mars and Scorpio and Jupiter and Taurus, our material wealth, our material things that we value, right, that connect us to our spirituality or give us some form of experience to get wisdom, is going to make us extremely uncomfortable when we're going for our goals and our desires in that deep, passionate way, because we may feel that we're being too materialistic with how we go about them. So if you're starting to have feelings of being too materialistic, just check yourself and try to be a little more metaphysical. Just add a little bit more metaphor to your mindset, and just go deep with it. If you're thinking you're being too materialistic, go deep into those materials that you feel like you're just using to make you feel good, because that's Taurus too, the senses. So yeah, as always, it's a lot going on, but you can handle it. It don't take time to take action. It don't take time, it take action. Because I was about to say you could do it in time, but you could do it in action. You do it in action. You will do it in action. Action. But this ain't no movie screen. This ain't scripted either. You making this as you go. It's like improv, to be honest. But that's all I had to say. I'm about to go get some food.